AITA for snapping at my wife about her parenting. Me 47M and my wife 52F had 16-year-old son. My wife is very overprotective mom. This particular incident happened 2 days ago. Our son got home with a pink hair dye, and when my wife asked what that was about, he said he was going to dye his hair pink. Of course, that was followed up by a 3-hour fight. My wife's reasoning is that he'll ruin his hair color naturally. He has really light, almost white hair and it's pretty long. I think it's fine. It's hair, it'll grow again, it's not gonna run anywhere. I argued for hours and our son ended up locking himself in his room. This is not the first time something like this has happened, and I'm honestly just as tired as my son is. He has to argue with my wife about everything. I mean, if 16-year-old wants to wear some ripped shirt and spiky necklace, he shouldn't have to fight with her mom about it. Everyone wore dumb shit like that in their teenage years. When I stand up for him, my wife berates us both and acts like I'm against her. I've talked to her multiple times calmly, but it doesn't seem to work. So after they finished fighting, I told her she was just acting ridiculous now, and it was getting to the point that her own son doesn't want to talk to her anymore. Told her that I'm his parent too, and if she has say in his decisions, I have as much of a say. She got extremely upset and started crying about how I should always stick up for my wife. Hair grows back. She should let him experiment while he can. I dyed my brother's hair platinum blonde when he was that age, and these days he's balding. It looked terrible, but the between with the icy blonde tips and dark blonde roots was actually kinda cool. He's glad he got to sport some terrible hairstyles over the years, cause now he's got only one to choose from. Also, pandemic. There's not many people who are going to see it, so why not? NTA. My wife is very overbearing mom. There, I fixed it for you. NTA. There's no reason why you should stick up for your wife just because she's your wife. That's a ridiculous attitude, emo. You called her out on her shit and she got mad. This is going to require much more communication by the sounds of it. She got extremely upset and started crying about how I should always stick up for my wife. NTA, if she wants to go the parents back each other up route, she should have discussed this with you beforehand, and at that point you could have compromised. She is being needlessly antagonistic to your son over something relatively harmless. It just means that if he ever does anything that is harmful, she won't be able to do anything because your son has, rightfully, tuned her out. Ask her if this is really how she wants to spend the next 2 years. And if she really wants this kind of relationship with her kids. AITA for being upset about my lack of Christmas gifts. I, 17M, wanted a PS5. I repeatedly told my parents I wanted a PS5. My mom said they were hard to come by and asked what else I'd like. I said nothing. If I couldn't get a PS5, then don't bother with anything else. That's the only thing I wanted. I may have been a little too insistent about it. Come Christmas morning, there's nothing for me but my favorite candy and a winter coat. I didn't understand and asked why I only got candy and a coat. My dad said I told them I didn't want anything else if they couldn't get me a PS5. So they didn't get me anything except the coat because I need it, and my mom added the candy. I got upset and asked why they wouldn't have at least tried to get me something I might want. My dad said because I was becoming a spoiled brat. I disagreed, but my dad said I obviously don't hear how I talk to people, that I'm coming across more and more bratty and that I'm not owed anything. Lots of people wanted PS5s or Xboxes and a lot of them didn't get it. He said he could understand being mildly disappointed in not getting what I wanted, but the bratty entitled attitude had to stop. I told my dad he was being an asshole to me, and I was just disappointed they didn't get me anything good. He said he didn't care if I was disappointed, he was disappointed in me for how materialistic I was being. When my brother, 20M, called to wish everyone a Merry Christmas, I told him what happened and he actually laughed and said it sounded like Dad was teaching me a lesson and that I must have been acting like a real asshole for him to do that. I don't see how I'm the asshole for being disappointed I didn't get anything for Christmas. But my dad and brother are in agreement that I am the asshole. My brother suggested I post here. But I'm more amazed at the fact that you typed all this out and didn't sense the entitlement that this post is reeking with. You literally told them that if you couldn't have a PS5, you didn't want anything, and they still got you 2 presents. You really do sound like a brat. Grow up. I'm angry that my family did exactly what I asked them to. Hey, congratulations, it sounds like you have parents that actually really care about you. Here's what they do that is great. 1. Actually listen when you tell them something. 2. They respect your wishes when they can reasonably do so. 3. They teach you a few lessons about how life works. Also, AITA for refusing to take stuff down in my room. Backstory: I, F23, live with my roommate, F22, in an apartment. It is a pretty big apartment with 3 bedrooms and 2 baths. We each have our own room and we use the extra bedroom for a guest bedroom. We each decorate our bedrooms as we want and we don't argue about that aspect of it. Recently, my roommate said that her parents were gonna come down for the holidays. I was completely okay with that. I was going to my parents for the holidays, so I didn't mind at all. Until she told me I had to take the decorations down in my room. I have pride flags, some provocative posters, witchy stuff, among other things in my room. I didn't see why, and she said it was because her parents are very conservative. I told her that it was my room, I will keep my door closed, and why would her parents be in my room anyway? She said that she just didn't want her parents seeing that. I told her I will lock my door, but I will not take all of my decorations. I spent a lot of time, effort and money, buying and putting up and risking tearing my posters and stuff. She told me they will still find a way in my room. I asked why would they want to go into my room anyway? She threatened me and said she will move out and she knows I can't pay the rent myself. My friends are saying she's the unreasonable one because why would her parents be in my room? I don't know what to do. AITA? Unambiguous NTA. What does she mean when she says parents will find their way into your room? Like by accident, or will they just not care and wander? Irrespective of the things in your room, that is another huge issue. They have no business going in there, and if you indicate that your roommate should respect that, I'd say more like will actively break into any and all locked spaces and probably root through everything, judging it all. I'd be pretty shocked if the roommate has ever had any real privacy at home in her whole life. I'm curious to know if there have been any other warning signs about her parents, like if they helicopter parent her, make her do things, give them control, etc. Your house. You pay rent. Your roommate is a total R. Look for a new roommate. You are NTA. Tell her you come out wearing full pride gear if you want to push this. WTF she thinks she is. This is good actually. Tell her you're locking the door, setting up a camera, and she can tell her folks you're paranoid about security. Then also say you have an alert on your phone. If you find out they've broken in, you're calling the police. And tell her that the police will actually be all your pals in their most celebratory flaming pride displays. You're NTA, but wowza, your room is NTA. Insisting her parents will find a way into your room is both nonsensical and creepy. Definitely don't take down any of your stuff, lock the door to your room when you leave, and consider finding a new roommate ASAP. NTA 100% NTA. If her parents want to get into your locked room and complain about your space, charge them. They have no right to be in a place you legally pay for. That's what I would do. You pay for your room, decorate it however you want. I would also suggest set up one of those cameras that activate with motion and alert her just in case they go into her room. NTA. She is basically telling you her parents will snoop on your room and break in if they need to. Not only should you lock your door, you should set up a camera. As for her threat to move out, she's free to do that. She is not free to control your room. If it comes to her leaving, just remind her she is still responsible for the rent if she is on the lease.